Next, we need to obtain some surface information. Surface information will give us information about the geometric properties of the surface. This includes, but is not limited to, elevation, slope, aspect, surface water flow, microclimates, and the surface's ability to sustain certain types of development, whether it be structural or life. 2010 LiDAR data seems to exist for the county that we're interested in. So we can see here we have LiDAR 2010. So if I click on that and I go to File Download, one thing that we need to take note of is that the data is given to us in the form of tile grid reference numbers. So I'm going to go over here to LiDAR 2010, and it's listed by county. So we're interested in Riley County. And then we see here something called Bare Earth, First Return, LAS, and Info. So Bare Earth means Bare Earth basically. Sometimes it's abbreviated BE. And this is surface information of the ground plane only. This doesn't include buildings or trees or anything like that. First return is the first point to hit the ground, so this could include vegetation, trees, whatever the first point that it hits. And LAS is the actual raw file, the raw point file. So this is basically a series of points. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining what all of this stuff means because I have another tutorial that goes into great detail about creating terrain data sets, and it explains this in a lot of detail. But for now, the only thing that we're really interested in is that the fact that LiDAR is going to give us a high resolution surface, and we're only interested in the stuff that's in the bare earth. And all of these are zipped up, and they start with BE indicating bare earth, and there's some sort of number after it. So the next question is we need to figure out which one of these files do we need to download. So I'm going to go back up to the parent directory, again, because what we need to download is this LiDAR 2010 tile grid. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to save it into my dask directory again. And I'm going to call this LiDAR 2010. And this is our tile grid reference. I'm going to save that. It's actually pretty small, it's just a shape file. I'm going to go ahead and click Show in Folder. I'm going to right click on this, go to 7-zip, and I'm going to extract it here. And then I'm going to go into ArcGIS, and I'm going to add that to my data frame. And right now we can't see through it, so I'm going to right click on 2010 over here. I'm going to go to Properties, I'm going to go to the Symbology tab, and I'm going to change the symbology to make it transparent, and maybe the outside I might give it maybe a dark green or something, or maybe a brighter green, maybe thicker line. Apply, and then let that draw for us. So we can see that our area of interest actually covers 4 tiles here. And if we go back to our site, we go to Riley, and we go to Bare Earth, we notice that everything is referenced by numbers. So we need to know exactly which numbers we need. So going back here, we can actually identify which grid number our site's area of interest is in. So I'm just zooming out. So down here at the bottom we have this Identify tool. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to click on this upper left one. And right here, this is going to tell us exactly which tile reference we need. So this one it says we need 14 SQJ0045. So for the second one, third one, and the fourth one. And this Identify tool only works if it says Identify from, and right now it says topmost layer, and it just so happens that my 2010 is the topmost layer. But if it's not, you may have to go in here and put in there the layer that you want to identify from, and then start clicking on things. I went ahead and identified the 4 tiles, and I downloaded them into my LiDAR 2010 task directory, and I also unzipped them using 7-zip. Now I'm going to add them to my data frame in ArcGIS using ArcMap. So up here in Layers, I'm going to right click here and select Add Data. And I'm going to add these 4 IMG files. Click Add. And as soon as I do that, the first thing that I notice is I definitely have my 4 tiles here. I'm going to turn off my aerial here. But I don't have information for these tiles down here. It's got part of it over here in the corner, part of it over here, and then our area of interest. We don't have any data for that. So what this means is our 2010 data does not cover our area of interest. So I'm going to go back to our task site, and I'm going to go up a parent directory, and actually I'll probably need to go back to the very first page we were on. That's this one here. And that was 2010. So 2009, if I recall, doesn't have Riley County. Yeah, it does not have Riley. So we'll have to go back to 2006 year and use that LiDAR data. I'm pretty sure that one covers the county that we need. It actually covers Manhattan, Kansas, and Riley County, parts of Riley, the Kansas River, and this is the data that we actually need. So this is going to definitely cover our area of interest. So I went ahead and downloaded the 2006 Manhattan tiles, and I added them to my data frame. As you can see, it covers our area of interest, so this is the data set that we're going to use. One thing I do want to note, our aerial is 2010 and our LiDAR data is 2006. And for the purposes of this demonstration, that's not going to really matter that much. But if you're doing something where it might matter, that's something that you might want to make sure actually lines up. So one thing that you could do is go back out and download the 2006 aerial and not use the 2010 aerial. While we have it in our data frame, we're going to take a look at a couple things. I'm going to right click on this and go to Properties and click on Source, and I want to look at my cell size. It says it's 2 by 2, so that's pretty good resolution. I can notice my spatial reference, and my linear units is in meters. Another thing that I also notice here is my high point is at 446.85. So if we go to symbology, you can see our high is 446 meters and our low is 298. This tells me that this is in meters and not in feet. If we remember in our Google Earth map, our elevation was about 3 times this. So this tells me that this value is in meters. And this is how you can tell if what you got, the elevation is in meters or feet. You can always use Google Earth as a quick check. So this looks like it came down okay, didn't crash or do anything weird, so I would say that this download was successful. I'm going to move on to the next one.